Afternoon. This is Mike Palmer of the Hans Peterson organization. My mother has just written a book about the life of Hans Peterson, the mysterious builder of Seattle landmarks. This is our corporate headquarters of the Hans Peterson organization, named after my biological grandfather. Now I say biological grandfather because he's not the grandfather we knew. He died when my mother was very young. We were blessed to have a very wonderful man that we knew as our grandfather growing up. But anyway, this is to expose the book and Hans Peterson. Now, Hans Peterson was at his core a builder, but he did own lots of rental properties. So we built these properties. I started a company called the Hans Peterson Organization to run the rental properties, but my company, Mike Palmer Homes, is first and foremost a home builder, although we've done some commercial buildings, remodels, etc. The Hans Peterson also owns about 14 other rental properties, and we're currently trying to acquire more so that we can have some passive income to offset times when building gets rough. But some of the parallels of my life to Hans Peterson's is that I've been in a lot of businesses. My wife was asking me how many different business ventures I've been in. It's probably about 14. And Hans Peterson, we found stock certificates of a pen company, an orchard company, a typewriter company. He owned land in the gold rush and was into all sorts of other businesses. Now, call it fate, call it heredity, but it just kind of parallels myself. And I have another brother, Tom, who is also a builder and owns some rental properties and has had a public relations business and owns a real estate business. So there's a lot of parallels with our lives and his. Anyway, I'll be pausing this video now, and we'll be called the Summer View. It's one of our signature plans that we designed in-house. It's actually a 3,500 square foot house with 1,600 square foot of a fully functional finished basement. We built this custom for a family. They do a lot of duck hunting and bird hunting tours, so they built a big driveway there to keep all their equipment and their trailers, etc. It's like a white face brick with stone highlights down below, and this has been a very popular plan. The layout is really cool, so we've sold it 3 or 4 times since we built this one. And here is another job site. We're building that exact same house on this job site. What I thought might be noteworthy here and significant is that this lot, I don't know if you can see, but it slopes down and it kind of goes into a gully in the back. We'll get a view over here on the other side. The way it slopes downward, it kind of goes into a gully back there, so we have some tricky topography to deal with, which is something Hans Peterson was known for. He'd build on top of mountainsides and in all kinds of challenging places, which is something we're becoming better and better at just by necessity, because all the flat land is kind of disappearing. And in North Carolina we have topography. Not quite like Seattle, but still it's similar in that vein. And this one I absolutely love. It was a color chosen by the customer. It's barn red, and I gotta confess I was very nervous about it, but it works really well. These are some very bold personalities, and they went for it with the color, and I just think they nailed it. I love this house. Now, after I finished this house, I sold it 4 more times. We've got it under construction 4 times. It's not a very large house. It's made to have a small house, big feel. Got a large master suite, a large great room, open, big focal point on a cathedral ceiling with a big fireplace. Nice screen porch. We skipped the formal dining room and skipped some of the rooms that aren't used that much, so that they could have more living space and not as much to maintain. And this house here was completed not too long ago. We just had to go re-landscape it, and we have to do some pressure washing. And actually, we don't own it anymore. We sold it to an old couple. We built it for an older couple, a very sweet couple from Maine, but unfortunately, he fell ill during the process and passed away. And then she passed away a few weeks later. So tragically, they were never able to move into the house, but now we're trying to help the son who's handling the estate get the house sold, and it shouldn't be a problem because the houses are in demand. There's not enough houses for people right here. So once we get it all fixed up, repainted and everything, we're gonna get it back on the market. And built this one a few years back for the neighbor next door. They wanted a 3-car garage for their boat because they are water ski enthusiasts. And this house here, this is the same house plan as the one that we just showed you from the sweet couple from Maine, but we did it more of a craftsman style with some shake and some shutters and some stone instead of all brick, which greatly changed the look of it, which is the same as this one at the end of the street here. You can see that. Same house plan, except we did the kitchen different, made it a 3-car garage and changed the colors. And also the one right next door. That's a similar plan but different. I don't know if you can see it through the trees. We built that one as well. And then there's another one down the road that we built that has a detached garage, two-story, 2-car garage, because the gentleman likes to work on Corvettes and likes a place to go out and have a workshop. So we built him a workshop to die for. And here's the one with the detached garage. That's a nice 2-story garage behind there. And there's the house. Once again, it's the same house, looks different. Only thing I regret on this, I think the shutters could have stood to stand out more. Would have made it really pop like the other one, but that's something that's easy enough to change. You're okay, go ahead. Anyhow, the next one is up on top of a mountaintop. That one is really going to be interesting. Here we are on the approach to the house up on the mountaintop. It's this very narrow little road. It gets very steep. But this house, I think, would have done Hans Peterson proud. Probably be the last one I show you. I've got some other developments. We've done over 100 houses in the area here. And with all the drama and storied adventures that go along with it. However, like I said earlier, it's not nearly as storied as the man from Denmark that the book is about. And it is an extremely well-written book. If you're thinking about buying it and reading it, you'll probably be glad you did. It has a mystery feel to it that you can't put it down, but it also has historic significance. It's a book about Seattle, also a book about Maine, and a book about history. Adventures of growing up in that time in the war in China were just pretty spectacular, and we didn't have the internet and all the things we have today, so you had instant access. Now we're coming up, and this road just seems to keep going up and up and up. It's a little tiny road that 2 cars can't pass by. Here we are, and we come around the corner. You can see, we start to see views on top of the mountain. You can see views of Lake Norman, all of Charlotte. There's a gate here. You wouldn't think there's anything up here. You start to see some views of the mountain over there. And here's the house. Up on a mountaintop. I'll give you a quick preview. It's not too dark. The skies are about to open up here. Now it's not painted yet, but we've got very picturesque doors. We've got a half-round door, kind of reminiscent of The Hobbit. We're going to have stone highlights on here. We're going to have stone on that part of the foundation. Kind of got that gingerbread house look with the mortar oozing out. Okay, it's gotten very dark in here because the skies have opened up, but there's lots of nice stone fireplace and built-ins. Now back on the deck, I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to take some more of these trees down and you're going to see, but this drops off like a cliff here. So this is actually built on a hillside and there's all sorts of rocks down there. So this is one that would have been more in Mr. Pederson's kind of thinking. There was all sorts of challenges with it, which makes it a lot more fun. But we've got all kinds of sliding barn doors. That's the office, kitchen, the pantry. You have another sliding barn door. We've got window seats, picture windows, great big island in the kitchen. Oh goodness, it's too dark, but we get some really beautiful cabinet work, really beautiful trim work. Master bedroom, once again, with picture window views, and once you take the trees down, you're going to see a Lake Norman and all of Charlotte. It's going to be really spectacular. To the master bath, you've got this great big barn door. You got a huge tub and the shower. The visitors' vanities and the showers call it car wash style shower. It's all tile, but you kind of can walk through one side and the other. It's going to have no door, and it's going to be quite unique because all the you've got on the edge, you've got tile that's simulated wood. It's got a wood grain pattern, looks like and then slopes down into your shower basin. You can go through from each side. Anyway, that's probably the last house I'll show you as we're running out of daylight. View of the dumpster. This was a complicated lot to build on, being as there's boulders and rocks and cliffs, and the septic is far away. So we had a lot of challenges to go through. But once again, we really do recommend you read the book. We appreciate you watching our site. And if you want to see any more videos of houses, you can go to MikePalmerHomes.com. Thanks. Bye.